All right, I'm going to show you guys how to properly observe the planets. You have to do it in multiple days. So if you look at yesterday's video, same time, same location as far as my perspective, Richmond, California, 5:30 a.m. So now we're looking at Venus and Jupiter, and their positioning is totally different. Now you have Venus towards the bottom of Jupiter, and Jupiter kind of like at 1 o'clock as it's corresponding to Venus, right? So it looks like their orbit and correlation to each other are separate from whatever the Earth's orbit is. So they're going clockwise as far as their rotation and orbit. Because yesterday, Jupiter was towards the left, maybe 9 o'clock at this time. So that's how you could tell that their time and orbits are different, because in one day, that was the change, right? All right, very separate from the Earth's orbit, because what happens with the Earth, and the reason why you know that the Earth is spinning, this is how you can tell, is because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So that means when dark becomes light, as you can see the gradient from dark to light, that's telling you that the rotation is going towards the east. Now, that's separate from these two. Now, what happens is that as we're rotating towards the east, their positioning in the sky does not change that much. Like, let's just say, in about 2 hours from now, this will just be right there. Not that much change. But that's just evidence that we're on two different rotations and orbits, and there is some type of spinning. Now, another reason why you can tell that this observation is on point is these are planets. They're not stars, right? They're not little light bulbs floating around in some jelly called space, or some carousel that flat earthers want to go into, right? The reason why we know this is because I'm sorry. It's because these don't emanate their own light. Because if they did, once this becomes all the way light, we would be able to still see it, just like how we see the sun. But when the light or the sun fully turns into daytime, we can no longer see those, even though they're right there. That's how you know that they're not their own light source, okay? All right? And we can see them right now because they're reflecting off of the sun, correct? Correct. Now, how else do we know that? Okay, now you see how there's a like a little sphere around the planet, you see it? That's how you know that no matter what shape that planet is, whether it's flat, triangle, square, or rectangle, there's a sphere that's separating it from the space. Some type of oxygen or some type of element that we would call our atmosphere, it also has an atmosphere, and that's why it's reflecting off of the sun. It's the atmosphere that reflects off the sun, not the planet. It's the gases that it's made out of that reflects the sun. That's how you know. We have the same thing around us. No matter what size, shape you think the planet is, there's a sphere, like a bubble around it. All right? I mean, observation is key and imperative. Stop regurgitating things that you see on YouTube. Stop regurgitating things that you hear your friends say. Go outside, take a look, and think about what you're seeing. That's what the ancients did. They thought about what they were seeing. They didn't just go outside one day. They went outside every day for years. You feel me? Fuck out of here.